Hi, Chris McClune here with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. We have reached September 11th, 2025, and I had all these things I was thinking about, talking about today up until late yesterday afternoon when the tragedy in Utah occurred. And we could compare and contrast where we are today with where we were then. We could look back on that day and think about the lessons that we all learned as firefighters that day, and how the spirit of the fire service was embodied, I think, in the first responders that day, who after the collapses regrouped, got back to work, reestablished the command and control of the incident, and got back to work. Today is about remembrance, and whether if you were there, if you were alive on that day. It is weird to think at this point. It has been 24 years later, and there were many who were not alive that day, who are just entering the fire service. And so, if you were alive that day, if you went through that day, if you experienced that day, remember not only the 343 who were lost that day with the FDNY. Remember all those who we lost that day, and in particular, also remember those who we have lost since that day, September 11th, illnesses. But I think I saw a social media post the other day. It was shared by a fellow firefighter, and it really did hit home for me. And I think that it does ring true, especially in light of some of the things that have happened recently. And that is, the best way to honor those lost on 9/11 is to be the people we were on 9/12. And I am sure that's not the first time that has been shared, but it did really hit me a little bit this week, just because of everything that we have been going through. So my message to you today is make today, the rest of today, a day of remembrance. Remember, if you were alive that day, if you weren't, or if you were young enough that you just don't remember everything, talk to those who were alive that day. Talk to those who experienced the range of emotions that day, as we saw everything unfold. So again, this has been Chris McClune with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. Have a good one and stay safe.